Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to Nigeria Now, the program where we look at the happenings in the country, precisely Nigeria, where we look at various sectors. We actually try to x-ray it and see what's happening there, as well bring it to the table, discuss some of the matters, and then as well, you're welcome to drop your comment and your views on Facebook, as they are always welcome on how we can, make Nigeria better with our little way of contribution. I am Sarah Elisha Dashomi. Today I'm doing the program alongside Sambo Solomon.
Sunday,
Good afternoon.
good afternoon.
Thanks
How
to
are you
take my
doing?
time to pronounce the name properly
Yes,
and
I
carefully.
I see how you are just laying emphasis on the name,
Emphasis.
trying to call the three,
And to
you
get
know.
it right. All right, thank you so much for
Yeah,
being on the show
glad to
today.
be here.
All right, we have quite a number of matters we would love to table this afternoon, looking at the fact that we are no longer strange or strangers rather to the issue of insecurity in the country, where we are seeing that Khan and Sultan are coming out to state and also urge the federal government to do something concerning ending of banditry, talking about bloodshed, and many other things that have been happening in the country, which is not really going well. And we've had if we're going to talk about the issue of insecurity, so that we are familiar with it to some extent, even though this is not something we're supposed to say it's normal. But it's unfortunate that it's becoming normal in the country, whereby we're seeing it seems as if every geopolitical zone in Nigeria is having its own fair share. If you're going down to the northeast, for example, down to the northern part of the country, it looks more like we're familiar with the issue of farmers headers clash, and then in all of that you go down to the southern part, it seems as if the issue of kidnapping is what is really, really going on. And then the issue of banditry, I don't think there's any geopolitical zone that would say they have not had their fair share of it. We've had the issue of farmers as well as miners have died in Niger State as a result of terrorists, because I don't know why we call them bandits. It's more like a small robbery or something. We've seen almost every part, or even Plateau State, they have had their fair share of it. So there is no part in the country presently that would say they have not had their share. We've heard bishops coming out to state the fact that they need the government to do something about the issue of insecurity. We've had various analysts, experts stating the fact that it seems as if the government is reluctant to handle this issue because it's taking more than expected. The time that is expected, according to people, for this issue to be handled, it seems not to be handling. People are even afraid to trade the road, so you can't even tell where it's safe right now, whether it's the water that it's safe, because if you go to the Niger Delta, we're talking about militants as well. So there is no part right now that you're going to say, you know what, the issue of insecurity. We've had so many people coming out. Yesterday, we're discussing the concerning the issue of our doctors embarking on a 7-day warning strike because of one of their members that have been abducted for over 8 months until date. Nothing from the federal government, and because of that, the entire resident doctors presently are on strike. Patients are lamenting. So there's no sector that have not been affected presently. We're going to talk about insecurity because you cannot just say this sector is actually standing and it's not been affected. Everywhere has been affected by this, and we've seen that the Christian Association of Nigeria, Sultan, are actually urging the government, please, can you just end this whole monster? End its life. Let's just have a peaceful Nigeria, maybe somehow.
Well, Sele, thank you for taking us um, down memory lane. Talking about the issue of insecurity in this country. It's quite unfortunate that we are here sitting down and then watching government pass every regime. They come, they promise handling or tackling or dealing decisively, ruthlessly with the people involved, making genuine Nigerians uncomfortable in their own land. If you remember, all during those campaigns season, I think if there's anything you hear first or being emphasized is the issue of insecurity. So because they know without security, nothing will thrive. And they try to make you feel okay, when coming, they will handle the issue of insecurity so that you have your normal life and then you continue with whatever you're doing, whether farming, whether business, or name it. Because without security, Sele, to be honest, nothing will work. Because in the first place, you are thinking of your safety first. You are not even thinking of going to work. Imagine where we are now. There is insecurity issue that we can't come out. You won't be here. Even if you will be here, definitely you will know that you will be escorted with a number of security personnel to come and guide you and do your work, and then you leave. For how long will that continue? You understand? In some cases, you'll find out that even the security personnel, there are some places that they will tell you, even them, they are not secure. So they will not even guarantee you to say they will be a cover to you for you to go and do their assignment. Already, they are thinking of their safety first. Why am I saying this? You know, tackling insecurity, protecting citizens, their life and their property is the number one thing that government should do. But we look at the issue of Boko Haram, to banditry, to herders, farmers, name it, you know, down from the north to the south. Everybody, you know, has gotten his own share. And some people are still even enjoying their share now as we speak. I think I don't know how to put it, Sele, but for our religious leaders, I don't think until things get worse, then they start talking. Because it's like the politicians are using us to catch cruise. Sorry, permit me to use this word. You know, to have their way. Just of a recent, I hear Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, you know, talking about how politicians are even, some of them, like, are even aiding the issue, or they are aiding, or they are fueling. Depends on how you put it, you know, the issue of insecurity, so that it will look as if the present regime is not really working or is not getting it right, simply because they feel that's the strategy to use to get to power. That's the same thing they did to Goodluck Jonathan when issue of Boko Haram started, you know, because the masses felt, no, Goodluck Jonathan is not capable, so they need someone with a military kind of experience to come, and he will handle, and it become worse. Because when he came, that is when those guys, you know, in their own wisdom, you know, dissolve themselves into smaller kind of names that today we are using. From that time, during his regime, people that died, they are more than during Goodluck that people complain. Yes, we stopped the bombing from cities, but yet we see how people are being slaughtered, people are being killed, people are being chased from entire local government, not just community. You understand? So, where are we heading at? As a country, we are heading to doom, because sooner or later, nothing will even work in the country. Because even now we are talking of productivity, we are not even producing anything, and this thing is happening. Sooner or later, everybody will be at home thinking of his safety first. So there will not be there will be shutdown of total production. So the country will be stagnant. It is high time for the country to know that this thing is eating us deep. We should tell ourselves the truth, and we should tell the politicians, the people that are in head of affairs, the truth. And who are the people that will say this truth? Tell them the truth. The clergies, the religious leaders, they are the ones. We as ECWA, we have our own share. When you talk about issue of banditry, insecurity, how our churches are being burned, how our people are being chased from their whatever. We have our own lion share when you talk about the issue of insecurity in the north. Our pastors are being picked like to a certain time, like almost weekly. Like our pastors are being picked, asking for one ransom and the other. You understand? Closing so many mission fields because of how our pastors, our missionaries are being attacked on a daily basis. While the church is even helping the government to sensitize the masses, to put good morals to people, that they will not look to the way of banditry, kidnapping, stealing, or destroying anything that has to do with the nation. This is what the religious bodies are doing. So I feel it is high time our leaders will be bold to tell these politicians Nigeria is not doing well, to tell the leaders Nigeria is not doing well. Because you can't, as a leader of a religious body, be dining with these politicians that you know they are not doing the right thing, collecting from them, any small launching, you call them, they give you money, they do all sorts of things in the name of government supporting what you are doing, and when they are going wrong, you can't talk to them. They are the only people that will feel they can talk to the government and they will listen to them, because the government cannot listen to the masses. The masses go to church and mosques, right? So we feel they are the ones that will call these leaders to order and say, this is what is happening. Can you change the narrative? This is what is going on. But how many are there now coming? And I said, why are they coming now? This thing, since Goodluck Jonathan, we haven't seen them coming. They only give us a press statement that this is what these leaders are saying. This is what Khan are saying. This is what Jamaat al-Nasr Islam are saying. This is what Sultan is saying. But we don't see them being deliberate, coming out. The leaders, all of them. The only person that I know that have been outspoken, even during Buhari, that almost all of them are quiet, is Bishop Kuka. You understand? But at the end of the day, what do we see? Do we see any result? Yes, we will say very little. But imagine all of the religious leaders coming together and saying, this is our stand. Definitely, they will hold the government to ransom. Accountable. They will hold the government accountable. Excuse me. You understand? And we want more of this. But you see now, they will talk. They will not hear them again. Maybe until one bishop or imam is affected, then you hear them talking. I think it is high time we speak with one voice. If our leaders are representing us, let them represent us well. Let's know that, yes, you are speaking the true position of the masses, and you stand by it. Because there is no way you will say President of Nigeria will disregard statement coming from Sultan or the Khan of the President of Khan or religious body. I don't think.
True.
I don't think.
True. I think.
Just imagine that doctors will go on strike, lawyers will go on strike, police, because some of them, even their family members are affected. Imagine them going on strike.
Just shut down the entire economy.
You understand what I'm saying? Because every sector in Nigeria is being affected. It's either one member of the family is being kidnapped, or their staff, or somehow. So we can't continue like this. We can't continue like this. Government should rise up to their responsibility and protect the life of innocent Nigeria and make life easy for them. This one that the economy is biting. Someone doesn't even care how he just want to go out and just get something small and then come back, and he can go home and sleep. But he cannot go out in the night. He cannot sleep. You see
everything.
You understand? So I think the leaders, the religious leaders, are doing the right thing. But I just feel the pressure should be more. And when they say it, they should hold our leaders accountable for them saying that this is what the constitution enshrines, and then they are the custodians. They are the ones to implement and to do what the constitution say, because they have the power. The constitution has given them power to exhibit that. You can't treat a terrorist as someone that just pick a pen or pick a tomato, steal tomato, or pick a shirt from. You can't treat a terrorist like that, because the terrorist acts in such a way that he wants to make you look stupid and useless. Because that's what is looking. Imagine a whole nation. They cannot fight bandits, terrorists. They are holding the nation to ransom. They are trying to tell you all the money that they are spending on all this military, whatever. It's useless.
I love the angle you're drawing this whole conversation from, and I think it's very important, just like you stated, the fact that if we want to start talking about holding people accountable, I think we need to start from our various religious bodies. Because if they're not playing their part well, of course, you cannot expect the leaders of there to listen, because definitely it's either you attend the church or you attend the mosque. So either way, you must listen to one of these things. So I'm hoping, honestly, just like you stated, the fact that our leaders, especially our various religious bodies, will realize, our monarchs and others realize the reason why they're in position, and as well play their part well. Now, not far from the next conversation, even though we're running a bit out of time, but just to briefly brush over the fact that, I mean, we're beginning to have a little normalcy after the hashtag end bad governance protest. I think that ran for about 10 days, even though it was cut shortly in some states because of certain people taking advantage, hoodlums, destruction, billions. We saw what happened in Kano State and other parts of the, the country, whereby certain people took advantage of that. But now we're seeing, I mean, initially when the whole thing was started, nobody could actually pick point and say, okay, these are the people that are actually sponsoring this whole thing. These are the organizers. It was more like Nigerians just put their heads together and we're like, you know what, we're tired of the way governance is running. We're tired of the hunger, inflation left, right, and center. After the removal of subsidy, nothing whatsoever is happening. And here, finally, we're seeing that there is a 17-point demand from the government. And I carefully looked at some of those points, and then I think about 3 or 4 is what I'm looking at. The fact that they're looking at an increase in minimum wage, which we feel, it looks more like NLC failed to push for that to 50. So we need you to impose that to 50. We're also seeing them talking about scrapping the 1999 Constitution. I just can't help but wonder. I've said it a number of times, the fact that when you are saying you want to scrap the entire 1999 Constitution, to me, there's nothing wrong with the Constitution, but there's everything wrong with the people who are meant to follow what is in that Constitution. And then we have so many other points where they're talking about release of Nnamdi Kanu and so many other things, left, right, and center. And they're like, either you adhere to our voice, or October 1st, we're starting another protest.
You thank God you said it's not far from what we are discussing. Like I said, if the if the leaders who the Constitution has given them right to oversee the affairs of the country, it depends on from where you are ruling. If they are doing the right thing, there will be no demands. There will be no needs for all of these demands, this ultimatum, this protest, and so on and so forth. Are people suffering? Sele is yes. Even the minimum wage cannot buy you a bag of rice.
Sure.
And if you are a family of 5, even if it will buy you a bag of rice alone, it means that minimum wage you are buying a bag of rice to use for transport, to use for school.
How about the gas?
That is is the same rice you will use to transport yourself. It's the same rice you will use as kerosene to cook, or firewood, the oil, and all. Because you are just taking the whole money to buy just rice. And it's the rice that you will eat from morning, afternoon, and evening. Do you get? Let's just look at it as simple as that. But yes, the government have tried, by saying, okay, they have approved the minimum wage. Now is
70.
Now is 70 by law. But as we speak, even the governors, some of them are saying they cannot pay.
Sure.
Thank God, one of the governors in the north have joined. Governor of Adamawa State have joined the league of other governors that are paying. Obaseki, Lagos, Edo, Lagos,
Kwara as well.
Kwara, and then Adamawa. But some of the governors have been skeptical. Now we are talking constitution. I agree with you that saying nothing is wrong with the constitution, even though I have my own review of certain things. But if we can do what the constitution enshrines, I don't think Nigerians will be suffering the way they are suffering today. Yes. So when you are saying scrap it, no, I don't go with that. I don't buy that idea. Why can't you say, okay, you are forcing them, you want to see that the leaders are living based on what the constitution says. If you are spending outside what the constitution says, you should be jailed. That there are all those provisions, guidelines on how things should be done. And that's why everything now we run back to 1999 constitution. When you talk about security, is supposed to be guaranteed by the government. Government are to protect you. You understand? Is what the constitution say. So what does the constitution say about governance? That's my point. Are they following it? If it's yes, thank God. If it's no, let's go back and say, okay, can we continue? Can we start implementing these things that are enshrined in the constitution? That will save us. We are talking about Nnamdi Kanu. Aside Nnamdi Kanu, there are so many people that are lying down there, in our prisons, that they don't even know their crime.
Of course, without hearing nothing whatsoever.
Nothing. And the constitution say, before you are to be jailed, there must be a fair hearing. Sure. As I speak to you, some people, they don't know why they are there, and there is no room for them, for even whoever to hear them.
They don't even have a lawyer, so not to talk of any hearing whatsoever.
You understand? So I feel, yes, if there's anybody that is being detained because of this protest, I think it should be released.
Sure.
The government know that they should release the people. Not until these guys that we cannot
bring out demands.
You understand? That we cannot say this is the leader, this is who is leading this is who is coordinating this. You know, until they bring out I remember when Shehu Sani was talking to the president. I salute his courage. I admire him. If we can have people like Shehu Sani, like if we can have 1,000 in Nigeria that are bold to speak up like him, I'm telling you, you will see a massive change in this country. He told the president, he said it's not by changing national anthem, which is true. When people are suffering, you will see them, sitting in the National House of Assembly on things and matters that doesn't really concern the masses, that has no value to the economy. How does national anthem, for crying out loud, that almost all of them, they cannot even recite it. You understand? But look at how speedily they passed that bill and he assented into it. And we are here hearing that some billions of naira have been sunk into that thing. To who? He told the president. He said, if you are talking about protest, you are the father of protest.
Sure.
And these children or this youth, as he put it, he said, they are your grandchildren. Release them without even condition. Release them. But you see, when politics is being played in governance, we have this issue. And when you, as a leader, you don't have a direction, you don't know why you are even there, you have this problem. Because at some point you'll be confused who to hear, who to listen, who not to listen. Because everybody will come with his own idea, with his own selfish proposal to suit him. Somebody can just come with there will be maybe a problem going in a certain particular community. You want to handle it, and somebody is saying, do you know that those people didn't vote you? Just allow them to suffer. Are they not Nigerians? When it's politicking, it's different. When it's governance, it's different. Whether people vote you or not, once you are in the office, everybody is your responsibility.
Of course.
So you can't say you won't do road here because they didn't vote you. Are we cutting that part from Nigeria or from the state or from the local government? For me, any leader that we see politics like that is a failed leader. He's not even supposed to be a leader in the first place. Well, so I feel government should just look into what is happening. Forget about we have political undertone, you know, under the end bad governance issue. Why is the president cutting down all those expenses? Is he supposed to be told
what to do?
What to do while you know the economy is biting, and until citizens will come out and say, no, we are not agreeing, and you say this is the way to go about it. I think from the first day you enter office, these are things you should cut, because we've been suffering all this while. So I feel it's important that government should not wait until this, because this issue of 1st October, you never can tell how it will go. And this 1st October is a day that the entire world knows that is on a, so true. Will you go out and begin to shoot protesters on that particular day? And that day, that's the day that our flag will be flying. So they should do their possible best to see that whatever it is that they know these demands are there even before saying it, handle them.
They should do that. I think that's very right. Well, so thank you so much for highlighting very important point. And I hope that our leaders are listening as well, that they will sit up to do what is expected of them to do. Well, as well, thank you to our followers, our viewers, and every other person who made this program a success, and to become your way again tomorrow. To have a lovely day ahead.